Imagine for a moment the sun in a state of rage. What would happen if it unleashed its full fury upon Earth? Picture our life-giving sun, usually a benefactor, turning into a celestial menace. A solar storm, a tempest not of rain and wind, but of plasma and magnetic fields, is what we're delving into today. To understand the fury of a solar storm, we first need to grasp the concept of the sun's magnetic field. Just as Earth has a magnetic field, so does the sun, but far more complex and powerful. This magnetic field gets twisted and tangled due to the sun's differential rotation, creating areas of intense magnetic activity known as sunspots. Occasionally, these sunspots can erupt, catapulting a cloud of gas and magnetic fields into space. This ejection, my friends, is what we call a solar storm. The sun, a fiery cauldron of nuclear fusion, is not always calm and serene. It has its tantrums, and when it does, it's a sight to behold and a force to reckon with. The most intense solar storm ever recorded in human history is the Carrington event of 1859. Named after the British astronomer Richard Carrington, who observed and reported it, this event was a massive solar flare that sent a colossal cloud of charged particles hurtling towards Earth. The Carrington event caused telegraph systems worldwide to go haywire, with some operators receiving electric shocks and papers catching fire. Auroras, typically seen near the poles, were reported as far south as the Caribbean. The sky turned red, green, and purple, casting a surreal glow that was so bright, people could read newspapers by it at night. Now, remember, this was in the era of the telegraph, the most advanced technology of the time. But what if another event like the Carrington event occurred today, in our technologically dependent society? A storm is brewing, not in the sky but in space, an invisible, silent threat. Imagine the sun, a fiery ball of heat and energy, raging with turbulent magnetic fields. Suddenly, a colossal burst of charged particles erupts from its surface, a solar storm. This isn't your average tempest, but a cosmic maelstrom, capable of hurtling through space at speeds of up to 5 million miles per hour. Picture this storm, an invisible bullet racing across the void, headed straight for our home, Earth. Now don't panic just yet. We have a shield, a guardian that has protected us since time immemorial, our planet's magnetic field. This invisible force field, stretching thousands of miles into space, acts as a deflector, pushing away most of these charged particles, safeguarding our world from the sun's fiery wrath. But what happens when the storm is too potent, too overwhelming? What if the relentless barrage of charged particles is so intense that it begins to distort and warp our protective shield? As our magnetic field strains under the pressure, the storm slips through the cracks, invading our planet's atmosphere. This is where the real danger lies. An intense solar storm has the potential to wreak havoc on our technology-dependent world. It's not the vibrant auroras illuminating the sky that we should fear, but the invisible electromagnetic currents they bring with them. These silent yet powerful currents can infiltrate our power grids, our satellites, our communication networks, causing them to short-circuit and fail. This isn't a threat from some distant future or a plot from a science fiction novel. This is a real and present danger. The sun, our life-giving star, also has the potential to be our greatest adversary. Its silent, invisible storms, if strong enough, can send us spiraling back to a pre-technological age, devoid of the modern conveniences we've grown so accustomed to. This silent, invisible threat has the power to plunge us into darkness. Let's explore how. In an instant, our world of bright screens and interconnected networks could go dark. This isn't a scene from a dystopian novel, but a very real possibility if a solar storm of significant magnitude were to strike Earth. Picture for a moment the satellites that orbit Earth, enabling global communication, navigation, and weather forecasting. These technological marvels are vulnerable, as solar storms can send waves of electrically charged particles hurtling through space at a staggering speed of millions of kilometers per hour. Such a bombardment could cause serious malfunctions or worse, completely knock out these satellites. The result? Our GPS would go haywire, global communication would be crippled, and the weather forecasts we rely on every day would become unreliable. But the impact wouldn't stop at satellites. Our power grids, the lifeblood of our modern civilization, could be the next casualty. Solar storms can induce potent electrical currents on the Earth's surface. These currents can infiltrate power lines, overloading circuits, and potentially blowing out transformers. The consequence? Widespread blackouts that could plunge entire cities or even countries into darkness. Hospitals, water treatment plants, transportation systems all would be severely affected. And don't forget about our personal tech. the smartphones, tablets, and laptops we're so dependent on could become little more than expensive paperweights. The internet, the global information superhighway, could be brought to a standstill, leaving us cut off from the world. It's important to note that this isn't just idle speculation. In 1859, a solar storm, now known as the Carrington event, caused telegraph systems across Europe and North America to fail, some even catching fire. In today's hyper-connected world, the fallout from a similar event could be exponentially more devastating. A world without power, it's hard to imagine, isn't it? But the threat doesn't stop there. The next chapter of our journey explores the potential human toll of a solar storm. Brace yourselves, because this is a ride you won't want to miss. Beyond the technological fallout, there's a more immediate threat to life itself. Imagine a day when a solar storm's radiation levels rise to extremes. This isn't just a problem for our technology, it's a dire issue for us, for every living being on Earth. A solar storm doesn't discriminate, its radiation can reach everyone, everywhere. The Earth's magnetic field does provide some protection, but a solar storm of intense magnitude might overwhelm this natural shield. The radiation could then seep into the lower atmosphere and even reach the ground, resulting in severe health risks for humans and other life forms. These health risks can range from mild to severe. On the milder end, we might experience temporary illnesses or discomforts akin to a bout of flu. At worst, we could see an increase in more serious conditions like cancer. And it's not just about the immediate effects. Heightened radiation levels could have long-term implications, affecting our DNA and potentially causing genetic damage that could impact future generations. Now, consider the implications for air travel. A solar storm could expose passengers and crew to radiation levels equivalent to multiple chest X-rays, especially on polar routes. It's a daunting thought, isn't it? And what about our astronauts in space? Without the protective shield of our planet's atmosphere, they would be directly exposed to the storm's radiation, a scenario that could be potentially fatal. Yet despite these alarming possibilities, we must remember that humanity has faced and overcome numerous challenges throughout history. We've endured natural disasters, pandemics, and even wars. A solar storm, as catastrophic as it might be, is another challenge that we would face head-on. The human toll of a solar storm is a sobering thought indeed. It's a reminder of our vulnerability, of the delicate balance that allows life to persist on this beautiful blue planet. It emphasizes our need for preparedness, for proactive measures that can safeguard us against such cosmic phenomena. In the face of a solar storm, no one would be safe. But could it trigger an extinction-level event? Our planet has faced extinction-level events before. Could a solar storm be the next? Imagine, if you will, an intense solar storm, its wrath unleashed upon our Earth. This massive outpouring of the sun's energy, if it were to occur, could have far-reaching effects beyond the immediate technological disruptions we've previously discussed. In a world without power, the mechanisms that sustain our everyday life would fail. The impact on food production could be catastrophic. Modern agriculture relies heavily on technology and energy. Without power, farming equipment would grind to a halt, irrigation systems would fail, and food storage facilities would be compromised. The result? A severe food shortage across the globe. But it doesn't stop there. Water treatment plants would also be affected. These facilities rely on electricity to treat and pump water to homes, businesses, and farms. Without power, clean, safe drinking water would become a scarce commodity. This, in turn, could lead to the rapid spread of waterborne diseases, adding an additional layer of crisis to an already dire situation. In the face of such widespread famine and disease, the world's healthcare systems would be overwhelmed. Hospitals and clinics, already strained from dealing with the immediate aftermath of the solar storm, would struggle to cope with the influx of patients. And with power outages affecting medical equipment and refrigeration for essential medicines, their ability to provide care would be severely compromised. Such a scenario is chilling to contemplate. A world plunged into darkness by a solar storm, grappling with food shortages, waterborne diseases, and a healthcare crisis. It paints a picture of a society on the brink of collapse, a planet teetering on the edge of an extinction-level event. It's an unimaginable scenario, and yet, it's one we must consider. Facing such a catastrophic scenario, our only defense is preparation and prediction. So how are we, as a species, preparing and predicting for such an event? Well, there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes. We are not sitting idly by, waiting for disaster to strike. Organizations like NASA and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, are continuously monitoring the sun's activity. They use a combination of ground-based observatories and space-based telescopes to keep a constant eye on our star. For instance, the Solar Dynamics Observatory, or SDO, launched by NASA, is one of our key tools in understanding and predicting solar behavior. It's like our weather satellite for the sun, continuously providing us with detailed images of the sun in different wavelengths. It helps us understand the sun's magnetic field, which is the driving force behind solar storms. Then there's the role of supercomputers. These powerful machines are used to simulate the sun's behavior, helping us understand what triggers solar storms and how they might impact Earth. This information is crucial in allowing us to prepare for potential technological fallout, but it's not just about prediction. Mitigation strategies are equally important. For example, power companies can take measures to protect their infrastructure from the effects of a solar storm. This could involve designing more resilient systems or having contingency plans in place to deal with potential outages. Furthermore, satellites can be put into safe mode during a solar storm to minimize damage. These strategies, while not foolproof, could go a long way in minimizing the potential impacts of a solar storm. So, while the sun holds immense power and the potential to unleash chaos, we are not completely at its mercy. With the help of science and technology, we are learning more about our star every day, enhancing our ability to predict its behavior and prepare for its potential fury. While the threat of a solar storm looms large, we are not entirely helpless. We are a species defined by our resilience and ingenuity, and these characteristics will serve us well in the face of any cosmic challenge. So, we've explored the unthinkable, the catastrophic impact of a solar storm on Earth. In this kaleidoscope of cosmic possibilities, we've journeyed through the invisible and potentially devastating consequences of a solar storm. From the blackout of our technological infrastructure like satellites and power grids to the intensified radiation levels threatening life as we know it, we've delved into the depths of our fears and faced them head-on. We've contemplated the unimaginable, a solar storm triggering an extinction-level event. Such a scenario is hard to fathom, but it's important to remember that knowledge is power. By understanding the potential risks and dangers, we can better prepare and protect ourselves. We've also looked at our only defense against such a cosmic catastrophe: preparation and prediction. The more we study the sun and its behavior, the better equipped we'll be to predict and prepare for a solar storm. This isn't just about scientists and researchers, it's about all of us, staying informed, understanding the risks, and supporting efforts to increase our preparedness. We've taken a journey into the heart of our sun, a journey filled with awe and trepidation. But remember, this isn't about fear, it's about understanding. It's about facing the unknown with courage and curiosity. It's about asking questions, seeking answers, and never stopping our pursuit of knowledge. We've scratched the surface of a vast cosmic canvas, but there's so much more to explore. So let's continue this journey together. Let's keep asking questions. Let's keep seeking answers. Let's keep exploring the cosmos and all its wonders. What are your thoughts on this catastrophic scenario? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video thought-provoking. Together, we can face any storm.